Welcome back today, guys. So if you've been following my channel, you know that elk season's coming up and I'm gearing up. And this year I'm going to do a lot more glassing. I'm getting older, getting a little fatter. Mountains aren't as easy to get up to as they used to be. So instead of pounding a bunch of miles out, I'm going to get up on a high point, do some glassing. I'm trying to figure out exactly where they're at. Probably what I should have been doing for years, but I've always been excited when I get out there, and I can't wait to get in there and start beating the brush. So this year we're going to change tactics. I'm going to get there a little early and try to look and see where the elk are and make a plan from there. So I don't have a whole lot of good glassing equipment. What I have is just an old pair of Nikon 10x42 binoculars. I personally am just out for any elk, any legal elk. I don't need to pick it apart and see if it's a trophy class animal. I just need to know if it's an elk or if it's a mule deer or a bear. I just need to be able to tell it's an elk. So with that being said, I usually don't carry a tripod or anything. I'm going to show you how I use my trekking poles. I usually have at least one on me when I'm hiking, and I'll show you how I use these to stabilize my binoculars and be able to do a lot better quality glassing. Because if you are trying to freehand or you don't have your binoculars really still when you're trying to pick apart that country, it's just a lot harder to pick out those animals. So the first thing, what I will do is I'll take my trekking poles and I will extend them all the way, and I'll cross them up on the front here. And what I do is I just take the wrist straps and I put them over each other like so, and then that kind of forms an X right here in front of me. And I'll take my binoculars and put right there, and I can raise this up and down depending on the terrain. And as I'm glassing, you can see I can rest my arms right here on my trekking poles, and that just makes everything a lot more stable. So that's the first way that I use my trekking poles. But like I said earlier, I usually only carry one. The other one, just to save a few ounces, a lot of times the other one is back in camp. So when I just have one, I will shorten it down a little bit. Get it to the appropriate height that I want. And I will sit it right in front of me. I will lay these binoculars right on top of it, and then I'll just use it to stabilize, and then I can spin, look up, look down, and then look all around, and I'll just scan that country and try to find just anything. You know, in the middle of the day when those elk are bedded up, you're trying to scan into those trees and you're looking for an antler, an elk chewing its cud, or a flick of a tail, anything. Just, you're not necessarily trying to find the whole elk, you're just trying to find a piece of the elk. So that's just a couple tips that I use. Looking forward to heading out there this fall and getting after it. So I hope this helped you out. If it did, great. I appreciate you tuning in, like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next week on Perry Fraze Outdoors.